My name is Sara. I'm 29 years old and I work as a receptionist in a small hotel in the city. My job isn't glamorous, but it pays the bills and keeps me busy. Every day I greet strangers, check them in, answer their questions, and deal with complaints. It's not always easy, but I try my best. For a long time, my life was very simple, maybe too simple. I woke up, went to work, came home, cooked dinner, and spent my evenings alone. Sometimes I watched TV, sometimes I read books. I didn't have many friends, and I hadn't been in a relationship for years. I told myself I didn't need anyone. I was fine on my own. I'm independent, I used to say. But deep down, I felt lonely. There were times when I wanted someone to talk to, someone who would listen. I saw couples holding hands in the park or families laughing together at the cafe, and I felt a small ache in my heart. But I never showed it. I kept myself busy with work and told myself it didn't matter. Then, one rainy Monday morning, everything changed. It was a cold and gray day, the kind of day when you just want to stay in bed. But of course, I had to go to work. I put on my usual black trousers and white shirt, tied my hair into a bun, and walked to the hotel with my umbrella. When I arrived, there was a buzz of excitement in the lobby. My coworker Lisa whispered to me, "Have you heard? We have a new manager." I didn't think much of it. Managers came and went all the time, but then I saw him. His name was Adam. He looked to be in his early 30s. He had dark hair, warm brown eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. He wore a navy suit and carried himself with confidence. From the moment he walked in, everyone noticed him. There was something about the way he spoke, the way he smiled, that made people feel comfortable. He introduced himself to the staff, shaking hands and asking everyone's name. When he got to me, he smiled and said, "Hi, I'm Adam." "You must be Sara." I nodded, feeling a little shy. "Yes, nice to meet you," I said quietly. Over the next few days, I noticed how kind Adam was to everyone. He treated the staff with respect and always took the time to listen. I admired that about him. At first, I thought Adam was just being polite. He was friendly to everyone, after all. But then I started to notice something different. He seemed to pay special attention to me. He would stop by my desk and ask, "How's your day going, Sara?" "It's fine," I would mumble, trying not to look too excited. Then, one day, he brought me a cup of coffee. "You look like you could use this," he said with a warm smile. I felt my cheeks turn red. "Thank you," I said, taking the cup. Over time, our conversations grew longer. Adam asked me about my favorite books, my hobbies, and my dreams. No one had ever asked me those kinds of questions before. I found myself looking forward to work, just to see him. One evening, as I was getting ready to leave, Adam approached me. "Sara, do you mind if I walk you home?" he asked. I hesitated for a moment, but then nodded. "Sure." We walked through the quiet streets, talking about everything and nothing. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. That walk turned into more walks, more coffees, and eventually, dinner. Adam and I started spending more and more time together. I felt like I was in a dream. But then, everything changed again. One afternoon, Adam called me into his office. He looked nervous. "Sara, there's something I need to tell you," he said. My stomach dropped. "What is it?" I asked. He took a deep breath. "I'm married." I froze. Married? I couldn't believe it. He'd never mentioned a wife. Not once. I'm separated, he explained quickly. We've been living apart for over a year. It's complicated. His words swirled in my head. I didn't know what to say. I liked him, maybe even loved him, but now everything felt wrong. For days, I couldn't think straight. I avoided him at work, but it was impossible to avoid my own thoughts. Was I making a mistake by letting him into my life? Or was I overthinking it? One evening, I saw him again. This time, he looked as lost as I felt. "Sara, I care about you," he said. "I know this is messy, but I've never felt this way about anyone before." His words tugged at my heart. But then I remembered something my grandmother used to say: "Never settle for less than you deserve." I realized I had a choice to make. The next day, I asked to meet him at a cafe. As we sat down, I took a deep breath. "Adam, I care about you too," I began. "But I can't be in a relationship where there's so much uncertainty. You need to figure things out first." He looked at me with a mix of sadness and understanding. "I don't want to lose you, Sara," he said. "I don't want to lose myself," I replied. As I walked home that night, I felt a strange mix of emotions. Sadness, yes, but also pride. For the first time in a long time, I chose what was best for me. In the weeks that followed, I focused on myself. I started reading more, going for walks, and even joined a yoga class. Slowly, I began to feel like myself again. Adam and I still saw each other at work, but things were different. We were polite, professional, but distant. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was the right thing to do. One day, he stopped by my desk. "Sara, I want you to know that I've been thinking a lot about what you said. You were right. I need to figure things out," he said. I nodded, feeling a sense of closure. "I wish you the best, Adam," I said with a small smile. Life isn't always simple, but sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that set us free. What would you do if you were in Sara's place? Would you give Adam a chance or walk away to protect your peace? Share your thoughts in the comments.